So with Spring 2020 anime coming to an end and no longer getting my Kaguya-sama on a weekly basis, I'm now looking to Summer 2020 anime. And so what I decided to do is look at my anime list, see what's popular, and give my rankings before I even started watching them. Some of them I might have seen the previous anime for, I might have read the manga, and some of them I might have not even heard of them or I don't know much about them. So this is going to be my rankings before I watch them, and then I'm going to give another video after I finish the series and give them an updated ranking. So let's look at my anime list on what's coming out summer 2020. So the first show is Re:Zero, and Re:Zero is my favorite anime series in a long while. It's not my most favorite, but it's definitely one I'm very hyped about as well. So I'm not surprised it takes number one for this summer. It's been 4 years since we've watched the first season, and I'm really hoping I didn't have to watch the first season again to get what happens in the second season. So I'm going to give Re:Zero an 8. The second show is Yahari Ore No Seishun, and this is my teen romantic love comedy. It takes place in a high school setting with the male main character Hachiman, who joins a club, and they kind of just work together to achieve different goals for one another. I wouldn't say it's a slice of life show, but the characters feel very real compared to your typical anime shows that you watch. The conversations that they have feel more genuine than some of the other shows that I've watched. So I have very high expectations for this show, so I'm going to give this show an 8. So the third ranking for my anime list is Sword Art Online, and we're just going to throw that away because I didn't watch the first season and I haven't really been into the Sword Art Online franchise. So we're just going to throw that to the side. So the next one after Sword Art is Fire Force. And Fire Force is kind of a love-hate relationship. I think it's a very good show. I think it's very reminiscent of the Soul Eater stylized aspect of it. The story is kind of interesting, but there are kind of dropouts and things that make it not as attention grabbing as it should be. So I'm kind of in and out depending on what's happening in the show. So I'm going to give Fire Force a 6. It may go up, but I'm going to put it on a lower pedestal just based on what I've seen previously. So the next one is the one I'm going to get roasted most about if anyone watches this, is The God of High School. So before it got its anime adaptation, I've actually didn't really hear too much about it. I might have seen it in the manga form, but I've never really got into it. We'll see what it goes. I'm going to watch it and see if it changes my opinion of what I think of fighting anime. I'm definitely hoping that there's a deeper story behind just the fighting, which will make it a lot more interesting. But with all the hype, I'm going to give it a 7. The next one is My Rental Girlfriend, and this one I've actually read the manga before its anime adaptation. And I think the story is okay. I don't think it's a home run for the manga, let alone what I think it might be for the anime. I'm definitely a big Ruka fan, so shout out to all those Ruka fans out there. But I'm curious to see how they're going to adapt it in the anime and see how Chizuru as a character is going to be set up. Because in the manga, I couldn't really get behind Chizuru and her character. Like, I could get why some people might be interested, but for me, in comparison to the other characters that the manga offered, I don't think Chizuru was the top choice. But you know, when it comes to anime, it definitely gives it more life to the characters. So I'm hoping to see if it'll change my mind about Chizuru. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to stay a hardcore Ruka fan. I'm going to give Rental Girlfriend a 7. Okay, so now we're going to get into shows that I definitely either I've never seen, never read, or all of the above. So the first one is Monster Musume no Oisha-san. And I'm just going to just go quick. I think it's a copy of the other Monster Musume, but you just add the doctor aspect of it. I don't think they're going to go too... It's not going to be that much into it. Like, there might be interesting parts that they'll throw in because it's the doctor aspect of it. So I think it'll be interesting in that way, but it's not going to be a grand slam of an anime. So I'm going to give that a 6. The Misfit of the Demon King Academy is another one that I've never heard about. It's an isekai. It's a power fantasy. It's the type of anime that I like watching. I love watching isekais, no matter how trashy it is. I always end up seeming to watch at least 1-2 isekais per season, so gotta get that quota in. I'm gonna give it a 6. So the next one is Uzaki Chan. And Uzaki Chan is another anime that I feel like it's a copy of another. It seems like it's a mixture of Takagi-san and Nagatoro-san. They're both this teasing aspect of the female character versus the male character. But again, we'll see how they change it up versus the other two series that I've mentioned. So I'm going to give it a 6. The next one is Peter Grill to Kenja no Jikan. And this is the true epitome of my guilty pleasure of anime. It has ecchi, harem, looks like an isekai. Just throw that all together into a sandwich. This is definitely going to be, I feel like, a trash anime, but it's going to be one that I'm fully going to enjoy. I'm going to give it a 6. So the last show that I'm going to try watching is called Deca Dence. And Deca Dence isn't my typical show that I would watch. I'm not a big, huge action, fantasy, sci-fi type of person. So the story focuses around 2 classes, the Gears class and the Tankers class. And the Gears class is the class that ends up fighting and protecting the society. But there's someone within the Tankers class that wants to change their class and become a Gears. It looks interesting. The anime looks very good from the trailers. So I'm going to give it a shot. And we'll see whether or not I complete the series, but I'm going to give it a 7. So those are all the shows that I'm going to be watching in 2020 summer. It's not all the shows that are coming out, so definitely recommend if there's any other shows that you think I should watch. And comment below and let me know what you think about my rankings. Just take it with a grain of salt. It's not indefinite. This is shows that I've either just seen before. I literally haven't watched a single episode for any of the shows yet. I wanted to make this video before I started watching it, so take all my rankings with a grain of salt because they will probably change by the end of the season. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for the next video.